All right, so I want to discuss what I watched last night. Now, first off, for football fans, I did watch Carolina stumble, fumble, bumble against Tampa Bay. And having watched it, Tampa Bay played a perfect road game, but at the same time, Cam Newton, I don't know what to make there. It's kind of, there's something wrong in Carolina, really wrong. And so they're 0-2. They've lost their first two games at home. That's not good. And for Tampa, winning on the road in Carolina, that could be a big win that we look back on down as the year goes along. Go, wow, Tampa Bay had a good year, and it started with week 2. So, that being said, I also watched Big Brother last night, where I watched Mickey outplay Tommy. And Tommy, said good game, well played. Apparently, they're going to show this big fight on Sunday that occurred in the house, where Mickey accused Tommy of lying, and clearly Nicole and Cliff bought it. And it's too bad. At the same time, Tommy revealing his secret that he knew Christy, he didn't have to do that. There was no reason for him to do that. None. It was a foolish move. It meant that he had a guaranteed vote on the jury, and of course they're going to vote him out. That's how this game works. So, while I don't really like what Mickey did, you know what? I don't know that I would do anything different if I was in the house. I was in Final Five, and I saw a weakness there that I thought I could exploit. So, I think Cliff and Nicole might have shot themselves in the foot. The thing is, Nicole has one of the last head of households. It really doesn't matter. Head of household has virtually no power when you're in the final four. Basically, she puts up 2 nominees, and then they fight for veto, and then the one person who's not nominated is the only person with a vote. The real power lies with that one person who has a vote, and Cliff is leaning towards keeping Mickey and getting rid of Holly. So, I know there's a lot of people who really like Cliff, and I know he's got a lot further than any of us gave him any thought of him getting there. But boy howdy, I do wonder some of his gameplay. I'm not sure. I find myself thinking, he's gone further than any of the other old guys have on the show, so good for him. But at the same time, how? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because other guys are seen was more of a threat and they got taken out. It's strange. And remember, he was voted out once and then came back into the house. So for that, I'll applaud him. But man, I would sure be getting rid of Mickey and keeping Holly. I think if you want to make the jury think about it, obviously if it's Nicole and Cliff that are the final two, I think Nicole wins. If it's, although that being said, the members of Grateful that got thrown out, they seem to be close with Cliff, and during exit interviews with Julie, seem to be a fan of Cliff's game. But if it's either Holly or Mickey against either Nicole or Cliff, I would think that whoever's against Nicole or Cliff in that final 2 wins it. So yeah, I thought that strategically they made a bit of a mistake last night in keeping Holly. You can't keep the showmats together. That's a mistake. That's my thought anyways, because that's why they picked off Christy, was to pick her off and then get rid of Tommy, because they knew they weren't a showmats, but they were close. So, and now we know why they were close. So yeah, that was mildly disappointing. And of course, on Wednesday night, I watched MasterChef, where Noah went home, and good. At this point, in the eliminations last week and this week, it feels like Chef Ramsay and the others are just saying, okay, these are the actual contenders. These are the ones who could actually win this thing. So when he votes out Suba and the other girl last week, and then this week he gets rid of Noah, that's because those are the ones that he says these ones can't do it. And Noah's been slipping the last few weeks. I think where Noah fell is that he was too confident in himself, and I think he got sloppy with some of his cooking, and there were times where you could see they were kind of like, hey, you should do this, and he's kind of like, yeah, no, I got this. don't do that. Don't do that, because then right away they're all zeroing in on him and going, we don't like what he's doing. And it kind of drove me nuts too that then halfway through they added a dessert, and I understand the dessert wasn't anything massive. I understand that it's something that's relatively quick to throw together, but now you're distracting them from a dish that would have been difficult to put together in the first place. So it's, and I understand it's MasterChef. I know it's season 10 because they say it every 10 seconds, but it's still, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought, really, you guys are going to keep throwing in. Why? Why are you doing this? They already had a tough enough challenge. You don't need to add some silly little dessert thing that to me it seemed was just there to throw everybody off. So, yeah, I guess, we'll see how things turn out. I'm still thinking Sarah. You've got Sarah, you've got Dorian, you've got Nick. I think Sarah's the best pick of the three. Sarah's been my pick all season. I don't see any reason for her not to be the one that ends up winning it. But we'll see. It's a 2-hour finale next week. Other TV-related news I wanted to just discuss real quick. The Rick and Morty Season 4 teaser trailers out there. And, of course, people are focusing on the idea of Evil Morty being, a big part of this show this season for at least an episode or two. Evil Morty's a very interesting character. I'll be very, very happy to see him come back. Yeah, that'll be really nice. I am excited, of course, about Rick and Morty because it's what I do. Of course, this weekend is going to be an interesting one for the NFL. I know I'm jumping around. That's how this channel works. I did update the power rankings a little bit after last night's game. I can't have Tampa in 30th after they went in and beat Carolina. I didn't drop Carolina, but I did move Tampa Bay up because I think they've automatically proved they don't belong in 30th with that result. But again, this is one of those things where Tuesday morning I will go through and update the whole board after the Sunday games are done and, of course, the Monday night game as well. Related to Monday Night Football, I can circle back now to this here, the WWE. The ratings this week for Raw were terrible. And I've had people saying, wrestling's been better lately. Yeah, wrestling has somewhat been better. The problem for me is I don't take any of them seriously. And you look at the reaction Stone Cold got, you look at the reaction that the Undertaker got the night after, and then you look at the almost muted reactions that today's superstars get. And when they bring back guys like Stone Cold and The Rock, and they bring back all these former superstars, and you see the crowd go crazy, that's how the crowd always sounded for Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's how the crowd always sounded for The Undertaker or for The Rock. And today's wrestlers don't get that same reaction. The ability to build somebody as a huge megastar doesn't seem to be as strong for the WWE right now as it used to be. And I'm not sure the exact answer to that. I do know that with AEW moving to Wednesdays on TV, NXT coming to TV on Wednesdays, rumor has it that they're going to merge it with 205 Live and NXT UK, so that Toni Storm will be on the regular NXT, which give her the NXT title, fast track her to the main roster, because Toni Storm is absolutely fantastic. And they desperately need a face right now in the women's division. Who's the face of the women's division right now? Are they really going to make sure? They can't make Charlotte, right? But they might. And so there's a lot of things going on with WWE, but then in the background, what's apparently also going on is that Anthem, which owns Impact, may very well buy ROH. And Sinclair, which owns ROH, is listening to offers. So if they buy ROH, and if ROH is merged with Impact and ends up on a network that people get, which has been Impact's problem for the last few years, we may have a three-way horse race. We may see like an ECW type vibe with the new Impact Wrestling, and then a WCW versus WWE thing with AEW versus WWE. They're even hinting that AEW's announce team could very well be Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone working with AEW. And so that would be that'd be a fun callback to the WCW versus WWE days. I was not a WCW fan, but I did love NWA before it became WCW, and I remember Shivani and Ross as the announcers that I enjoyed listening to before it became something else, and Turner bought it, and I didn't like it as much after that. Um, I was never big on Nitro, even though Bobby Heenan was like the greatest color guy ever. I was never big on Nitro. Um, I missed the days of the Horsemen, and hopefully when AEW debuts and they get their show all together, I'm really hoping they have a Horseman type storyline going there because they have the right crew, they have the right feel. They could really bring back sort of a Southern wrestling feel to it, not trying to compete with WWE, just trying to create their own energy. WWE has their own fight, and they really shouldn't be picking a fight with AEW because their fight is with the fact that the show's ratings just haven't been very strong this year, and I think worrying about a new company coming in that could potentially siphon off some of their viewers makes some sense, but putting more and more content on TV, the rumor that SmackDown could go to 3 hours, the idea that they're going to put a 2 hour show together every week live for NXT. That's now 7 hours of live TV every week. And then you got pay-per-views every few weeks that are 4 hours each. You're saturating the market. That means any week where it's a pay-per-view week for WWE, if there's a takeover that weekend as well, you could have 14 hours of wrestling that week. I don't care how much you like wrestling, 14 hours is too much. That is a ridiculous amount of time to spend watching wrestling. I used to like watching 2 hours of Raw, and then you have the 3 hour pay-per-view, and done. It was 5 hours in a week. Now it's going to be, 14? That's part of the reason why I'm more excited about AEW right now than I am about whatever's going on with Raw and SmackDown, because it should be a shorter show. They're not going to have pay-per-views as often. At least that's what they're saying out of the gate. And it would require a lot less of my time to follow it, which once hockey season starts, I don't have time to be sitting down and watching wrestling every week, so I don't. And then the problem is that, Tuesday morning when I'm like, oh, I could watch a replay of Raw, I guess I could. And then I usually go through spoilers to see is it worth it, and I go, oh, well, nah, forget it. And that's where the problem comes in. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're an NFL fan, how do you feel about the Carolina Panthers right now? If I was a Panthers fan, I would be very concerned. I did. Is she listening? No? Okay. I did order 2 NFL jerseys this week. And they're coming straight to the house. That way they don't go to the American Post Office so she doesn't pick them up and then accidentally throw them in the trash and tell me, I don't know what happened. So I did order 2 NFL jerseys. I ordered the Rams and I ordered the Titans. I ordered them from Full Moon Jerseys on eBay, which is where I get my jerseys for cheap. And they're not current players with those teams, but I don't care. I wanted to have a Rams jersey, and there are a few other teams I'm looking for as well, but I thought, yeah, Titans is kind of fun. They got that cool teal color, and I like the teal color jerseys. So those will be here probably before we get into the whole Week 3 thing. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding anything I've talked about today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just having upon this video, and thank you guys so much for all your support. The channel's over 9,100 subscribers now, so thank you for that. And there will be regular NFL talk, but there will be other talk as well. So thanks for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.